Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. It is a beautiful day in 2024. This is the first video for me of the year. Today's focus is going to be Infinite Streak in arenas. Now, we're going to talk about Infinite Streak, and the arena that I'm going to be showing you for this is the Spidey 2099 featured arena. However, what I'm going to talk about is also going to work for the regular arena. The only one that it really doesn't apply to is Crystal Trove and the Catalyst one, as well as the 4-star Summoner Trial one, because that doesn't include 5, 6, 7-star champs. Now, for the Infinite Streak, what we're going to do is talk about how to get there, how to keep that streak, and then hopefully, if you lose it, or when you lose it, it's possible that it'll happen, you don't just crawl in the corner and cry yourself to sleep. One thing that you're going to want to remember before we get started is that not everybody has the same roster. So your method could be different than what I'm going to talk about today. Also, I have a fairly large roster and I have been doing arenas for years. The way that Kabam used to do it was brackets. So you'd have like tiers basically if you were new to the game and you were just entering arena for like the first time. I believe they would put you in something called a beginner's bracket, and then there's like a middle tier and then an expert tier. I'm on the highest level because, again, I've been doing arenas for a very long time. Now, if you look at my arena, I already started it, and my win streak is at 21, which means the next match I do is going to go into number 22. What you want to take note of is that when you start, it's going to say win streak 0. Right above Professor X's head, you can see that mine says 21 win streak. And then right next to it, to the right, it has a multiplier. Mine says 3 times. So when you first start, it's going to say 0, and it's going to say 1 times. Okay? As you continue to win matches, it caps out at 3 times. As even if you're not in Infinite Streak, I think it starts after like the 4th match or something like that. But again, what we want to do is make it to match 20 and win, because then on win streak 21, that is the start of Infinite Streak. That's the whole idea about what we're going to be talking about. So let's get started. The way that this used to go is people, I think, are actually still using this method. I used it for a very, very long time too, after I was taught how to do arenas properly. But I do it different now, and I'm also going to talk about that. So what you would used to do is you would take all rank 1 champions from match 0 to match 11, and then match 9 through 11, you would still use rank 1 champions, but you would used to have to bring 2 power control champs and a regular champ, because the defenders used to only throw special 3s, so you'd have to power drain them somehow or control their power somehow. Now, you kind of don't really have to do that anymore. I've noticed that if you bring those power control champs between matches 9 and 11, they always throw their SP1 or SP2. And it's really ironic, but it also kind of helps, because then you don't have to worry about tanking an SP3. If you don't bring those power control champs, they will sometimes back in the corner, but eventually if you continue to just bait it out, especially because there's no timer in arena, you just got to kind of keep backing it out, they should throw a special before you have to tank one, even though you should be able to take an SP3 to the face in arenas 1 time. But anyway, one thing that you'll notice between matches 0 through 11, all rank 1, and then from 12 to 14, which is what people, again, used to do, was they would bring rank 3 champions And then from 15 to 16, you would bring rank 5 champions. And then from 17 to 20, rank 3 champions again. And then from 21 on, as long as your team's PI or power index, which is the number below their name and stars, as long as that was above a certain number, then you could just continue to do arenas for the entire 72-hour period. The only thing that you'd have to worry about is whether or not you want to use units to refresh your champions to get more points, which I don't do, or waiting the cooldown time frame. So the reason that I started this, again, I wanted to get my 7-star champions out of the way because they have like an 11-hour cooldown period, so I don't want to get too far behind. I have a goal for this year, which I'll explain at the end of the video. So you can continue to do it that way from 0 to 11, bringing rank 1 champions, and then from 9 to 11, bring the 2 power control champs. Then from 12 to 14, rank 3s, 15 and 16, rank 5, 17 to 20, rank 3s again. I don't do it that way. What I do is I use all rank 1 4-star champions up until match 14, and then I finish that. And then from 15 all the way through 20, I will use my 7 stars, and then I will use my top 6 stars. And once I reach infinite streak, I just continue down the line of all of my other 6 stars. As you can see, I've got a bunch that I still have to do, and I'm going to do that as soon as I'm done with this video. The only thing that you need to watch out for is once you hit infinite streak, which is where I'm at now, you do not want to go down below a total power index of your team of 24,000. That means that all 3 of your champions have to have at least 8,000 PI or higher, otherwise you will get the death squad. And as you can see here, Spot is my last character that I can use for the 6-star infinite streak, and then I've got to wait for my 6 stars to cool down. If I was to use Star-Lord, Hulkling, and Doctor Strange for the next match after that, I would immediately get a death squad, which means that Star-Lord, Hulkling, and Doctor Strange would be a rank 1 6-star fighting rank 3 7 stars. That's how Kabam does you dirty on that one. So just be careful of that. And again, remember, everybody has a different roster and a different bracket starting out. So if you have a beginning bracket, like if you're new to the game, or if you're just starting out doing arenas and you haven't done that many, it is possible that your infinite streak PI for your total team, like once you get there, it may let you pass by it, because you got to think, new players, once they're available or allowed to do arenas, they're not going to have a large roster. So Kabam is not going to just be like, oh, let's give them the death squad every 3 fights. I don't think that is something that used to happen. I mean, I've been doing this for a lot of years, so I can't quite remember how it used to be back then when I was a beginner, but pretty much what you need to understand about this is you want to get to the 3 times multiplier and match 21 as fast as possible. Don't go below 24,000 total PI, and you should be safe to get all the milestones for the units and then stack basically an infinite amount of battle chips. A pro tip, if you want to do this faster, getting to infinite streak, what I do is I win the first 2 fights and then I just quit the 3rd one. It does shave off quite a bit of time, so it does help you get there quicker, so you can kind of continue to use your higher champions instead of focusing on getting to the streak. You'll get there faster. You don't have to do that if you want to get all the points. You can use all 3 of the champions for all the fights. Or if you use the first champion and you win, and then you die the 2nd time, at least for the 3rd fight, you'll have that to fall back on. Just, don't lose, and then you'll continue to keep going. So if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns regarding Infinite Streak and how it works, just remember you can use the older method. I do believe people are still using that method. A reiteration, fights matches 0 through 11, all rank 1s. I use 4 stars. And 9 through 11, I actually still bring the power control champs, and it's funny because every time I bring them now, they don't throw SP3s, they just like immediately throw special ones, which is very ironic. But if you don't bring them, sometimes they will turtle in the back and they'll throw the SP3, but it doesn't happen very often, so you kind of don't have to do that anymore. But fights 12 through 14, I just use the same champions too. I use all rank 1s all the way through 14, like I said. And then from 15 to 20, I start with my 7 stars, use my top 6 stars, and then I go so on and so forth until I hit my last available characters that have 8,000 PI or higher. And that is how you're going to continue to just stack battle chips and units, and you can do it for an entire 72 hours if you want. It's up to you, but I don't do that. I do take a little bit of a break here and there. As I said in the beginning of the video, I have a goal for this year, and that goal is to not spend a single unit from arenas, and I'm going to do all of them until next Christmas, because I want to try to save up to 100,000 units. And I know that's a big goal, but I'm going to try to do it, and I'm not going to use any battle chips whatsoever. Now, that being said as well, if there's a deal that comes across that cannot be passed up and I have enough units for it, I might take it. It just depends, but I'm not planning on it. So if you have questions, comments, concerns, please feel free to comment. If there's something that I missed or I don't know about yet, or if you have new information, let me know. I'm all for it. But I appreciate your time. If you like the content, please hit the like button for the video. Feel free to subscribe, hit the bell notification, and then tap all. That way, you don't have to wait and search for my videos. If you're subscribed and you have the all bell button on, my videos will just pop up for you. You don't have to go looking for them. But I appreciate you guys. Thank you for your time. That's it for today, and I'll see you on the next one.